Hey everybody, welcome into my channel. In this video I am going to be talking to you about why as a new realtor you should be working with wholesalers, or even as an old realtor, how you can grow your business a little bit, and some of the things you need to know. So let's get started.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about why realtors don't want to work with wholesalers and why they should be working with wholesalers. So, on that note, let's get started. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. My name is Rhonda. I am a licensed Florida real estate broker. I have been wholesaling properties for over 20 years now. I have been licensed since 2004. I have closed hundreds of transactions, if not thousands of transactions in that time frame, and I have trained multiple, probably dozens, couple dozen anyways, agents on how to acquire these properties, what to look for, who to work with, and those types of things. So let's get started here. Okay, first of all, I want to talk to you about how realtors are understanding what wholesaling is. Okay, there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of things going on that you just, especially if you're new in real estate, and they just don't understand it. Okay, so first of all, a lot of realtors think that wholesaling is illegal. They think it's unethical. They think that wholesalers are just somebody out there trying to make a quick buck. They think that wholesalers are people who are new to the industry, and a lot of them think that wholesalers are just a waste of time, that they waste the seller's time, they waste the realtor's time, all that good stuff. So we're going to go into that a little bit, and I'm going to explain why these things really aren't factual. So let's start with what wholesaling actually is. Real estate wholesaling is when a party contracts with the homeowner to purchase the property, markets the home to potential buyers, and then assigns the contract to one of them. The wholesaler makes a profit, which is the difference between the contracted price with the seller and the amount paid by the buyer. Okay, just a side note here, guys, for you realtors out there, the wholesaler is not selling the property, they're selling their interest in the property. Okay, they're selling that contract. Okay, so let's go over the myths of wholesaling, and I'll touch base on all of them. Okay, first myth about wholesaling is that wholesaling is illegal. This is probably the absolute biggest myth out there. Okay, wholesaling is not illegal. Wholesaling, when it's done correctly, is completely legal. Like I said before, somebody who is wholesaling is not selling the property. They are selling their interest in the property through their contract. Okay, second myth amongst realtors about wholesalers is that wholesalers never close. From time to time, there are deals that don't close with a wholesaler, and let's call it what it is, guys. If we have a property that's a bit of a dump and the seller is not realistic about what that property is actually worth, chances are it may not close. And you may want to talk to your buyer when you're working on this, if it's a wholesale buyer, because they're going to tell you, hey, listen, this one, we're real close on this one, or I'll give it a try, but I can't guarantee that this is going to work. And most of the time, anybody who's a seasoned wholesaler is going to know if they're going to be able to get that property to close at that price. Okay, because let's face it, the only thing that really sells real estate, all the little tchotchkes and upgrades are nice, but it's always going to be price. If your property is priced correctly, then that property is going to sell, period. And it doesn't matter if it's a dump or if it's the Taj Mahal. If it's priced correctly, it's going to sell. Okay, the next myth is that wholesaling is for beginners. I am living proof of that, guys. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I love it. It's kind of like a matchmaking job here, or you could say a matchmaking career. I love being able to find those properties for my investors. They're happy, I'm happy, and I get to move on to the next one. Okay? The next myth is that you need a real estate license to wholesale. Absolutely not. You need a real estate license to sell property for another party. Yes, absolutely. But you do not need a real estate license to sell property that you have a contractual interest in. Okay. And lastly, a lot of people out there feel like wholesalers are crooks and they're trying to steal the homeowner's equity. Nothing could be further from the truth on that one. What a wholesaler is, and to put this in terms that people may understand, a wholesaler is similar to a pawnbroker. Okay, they're looking for a deal on a property. Absolutely. They're not out to steal somebody's equity. They're out to solve a problem. And if you talk to a lot of wholesalers, you'll understand from them that they're not out there to try and get every single property. They know that probably 95% of the properties that are owned by the people they talk to are not going to work for them. Okay, they're out there to solve problems for people and, of course, make a little bit of money while they're at it. Okay, so what is a realtor? We all know this. A real estate broker, real estate agent, or a realtor is a licensed professional who represents a seller or a buyer of real estate or real property. And while a broker can work independently, an agent has to work under a broker. Okay, a wholesaler does not have to work under anybody. Okay, the duties of a real estate agent: honesty, loyalty, obedience, reasonable care and diligence, confidentiality, full disclosure, and accounting. And I'm going through these a little bit quick, guys, because we all know what our duties are. Like I said, I'm a licensed broker, so we all know these things. It's kind of drilled into us. Okay, one thing I want you guys to understand is that a wholesaler and a realtor both have very common goals. Okay, they both want to help the homeowner, they want to help the buyer, and they both want to make money. Because why would we be doing this if we weren't trying to make money? Okay, so let me give you some statistics that were pulled from the NAR site. This is for 2018, and as you can see, the source was 2019. They didn't have the 2019 numbers up yet when I pulled these, so let's look at this. Okay, the median number of transaction sides in 2018 for residential sales. The median number was 12. Okay, 11 and 12. Residential side for all realtors was 11. Residential side for residential specialists was 12. So that equates to kind of one deal a month. Okay, I put a link in this slide here for you guys. I want you to look at something. Okay, when you're looking at these averages, the median realtor is going to close 12 deals a year. That's one deal a month. In my market, or in Florida, I'm sorry, I pulled for the whole state. In Florida, attached in that link is a report of about 44,000 realtors. Okay, and out of those 44,000 realtors, less than 10,000 of them closed more than one deal a month on average. Okay, that's, to me, they say the 1% make the 5% make the top. The 1% make the top 5%. I'm not sure exactly how it goes, but you guys have heard this before. I know you have. So what can we do about that? Okay, let's look at this a little bit deeper, and then I'm going to give you some tips and tell you how you can break past that once a month number there. Okay, so let's look at the average realtor. Okay, this is pulled from the stats. Okay, your average realtor is bringing in about $55,000 a year. Okay, this is before taxes. Okay. So let's just look at this a little bit closer. So with the median home sale or home price of about $226,800, and that was according to Zillow, at a 3% commission, an agent would average about $6,804. Okay, if you have a broker who's taken 30% of that, 2,041, you'd be making an average of about $4,763. Okay, based on these numbers, you have to do one deal a month to hit the median wage. And let's look at that a little bit further, guys. If you take taxes out of about 15%, you're only making about $46,000 a year, which is not horrible. But if you look at the poverty guidelines for 2019 for a family of four, you're only making about 20,000 higher than poverty level. Okay, so let's figure out how to turn that around. The benefits of working with a wholesaler as a buyer's agent. Okay, and I just want you guys to think about this for a minute. You got a buyer who gives you no concern for financing. Wholesalers work with cash buyers or hard money buyers. They do not put financing contingencies on their property. Okay, the property condition isn't what they're looking at. They're looking at the numbers and what can be done to this property. Okay, so if you have a property that you know probably needs a new kitchen and probably needs paint and probably needs all these things that a normal retail buyer isn't going to look at, you know that the wholesaler is not going to be afraid of that. And here's the biggest thing, guys. If you start working with a wholesaler, you're going to get repeat business. Okay, this isn't a once every 3 years kind of client. This is a client who is going to buy from you multiple times through the year, if not monthly. Okay, so the average wholesaler, just so you guys are aware, closes 3 to 7 deals per month, where the average realtor is going to close 1. Okay, the average wholesaler assignment fee is between $7,000 to $10,000 per deal. Okay, most wholesalers out there right now are not going to be greedy. If a deal's a little bit tight, they're still going to do it just to try and get it out the door. They're still going to try and help get rid of these properties and help their buyers so that they have inventory and properties to rehab or do whatever it is they need to do with. So don't be afraid to take a deal to a wholesaler that you think might be a little bit tight for them, because they're going to tell you what they can pay and what they can't pay, and they're going to tell you why. Okay, so here's what wholesalers can do to help realtors. They can give you an instant cash offer for your seller. We have access to hundreds of local buyers and referrals. Okay, guys, I'm not going to be able to stress this one enough. Okay, wholesalers are experts at lead generating. Okay, we probably talk to 40 people a day about their properties. Okay, and we already know that not everybody is going to be a fit for a wholesaler. But guess what? We have a lot of people who are fits for a realtor. So once you start working with a wholesaler and they know they can trust you, it would not be a far leap for them to start giving you guys referrals on properties that they can't personally close. The whole agenda for a wholesaler is to help the seller. Okay, and if they can't help the seller, hey, I know that I am always giving the realtors that we work with referrals. Okay, so in working with a wholesaler, this is what it's going to mean for you. You're going to have more closings. You're going to have faster closings. Okay, wholesalers generally close between 14 to 21 days. Okay, you're going to have more money because you're going to have more closings. You're going to have more referrals because those leads have to go somewhere. Might as well be the realtors that we're working with. So let me give you a little bit of a case study for a property that we closed in the last year. Okay, this is a property in Castleberry. One of our realtors that we do referrals with called us with a referral. The client was looking for someone to take a property. They did not want to have to make another mortgage payment. They inherited the property. They came here from out of state. Okay, so the realtor called us with the referral. The property needed repairs. On day one, we had negotiated an offer with the seller. The realtor placed a lockbox on the door and sent us some pictures. On day 21, we closed. The realtor made one phone call to us and placed a lockbox and sent pictures. And guess what? 21 days later, he was paid on the HUD or the closing statement $6,800 of his commission. No waiting on financing contingencies. The homeowner didn't have to make another mortgage payment. And we had a quick closing and he was on to the next one. Okay, so let me give you an example of another one that we did just so you kind of know how things work a little bit. It was property in Orlando. On the first day, the realtor called with the seller's information. We contacted the seller. She wasn't quite ready to sell. This was her family home. She had lost her husband and her son, so she was a little bit emotionally attached to the property. Okay, it took us about 2 months of contacting her every couple weeks just to kind of check in and make sure she was doing okay. And on day 60, she signed the contract. Okay, between signing the contract and closing, she went into a rehab center, broke her hip. It was an older lady. And while she was there, we coordinated for her a senior advisor. We coordinated packing the house for her and moving. She was not able to return to the house to do these things because the house was 2-story, and she broke her hip. She's in a wheelchair. She wouldn't be able to get up and down to accommodate these things. Okay. We also negotiated with her 14 days of post occupancy so that she would have her money and time to get the movers in there to get her things out after closing. So she didn't have to be out before closing. Okay. On day 84, which is actually 24 days from the day the contract was signed, we closed. The realtors were paid $7,180 on the closing statement and ready to go. Again, what the realtor did on this is they made one phone call to the wholesaler, and there you go. I see a typo there on that slide, but I'm going to let it go for now and fix it later. But just so you know, they were paid on the closing statement.
Hopefully you guys found that very helpful. I do have a realtor buyer boot camp. If you're interested in getting started with cash buyers and working with investors, check it out. I'll put a link down below for you for that introduction video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and if you have any questions at all, pop them down in the comments and I will be looking out for them. I'll see you next time. Bye.